Good morning. I would like to work on some first kata today. Ideally, the flow of it. So a problem I have is where I do a block, like a Gadamarai, a block. There is a pause between the Gadamarai and the stomach level punch. So looking back at the tournament video I did, it was obvious that in some of my blocks I'd come down like this and then I would wait. I think it was because I was trying to breathe, and then I would go in to the punch, whereas it needs to be a little bit more fluid. So I'm going to start at this point and we're just going to work through the block and punching sequences. So from here, we look, we block, and then we punch. Okay, it needs to be a little bit more quicker. So from here, that was slightly better. I especially noticed it later on in the kata, and I think it was because I was getting more and more out of breath and I was giving myself a little bit more time. There was one where I was paused, not paused, sorry, where I turned, and I think it was the so that's the big turn, and then it was this. Yes, it was this punch, this block. It was nice and slow, and then there was a punch, and I remember watching that video and I'm thinking, God, it's like taking really long. So let's see if I can do it in this small space here. So we've got this punch, we do the big turn, we then punch, and then I want to go the other way, I think. So yeah, I suppose it doesn't really matter which way you turn, it's just getting that fluid. So we will start again from the first turn. We'll do the first turn. So that's better. So we'll just keep doing the first turn, I think, and then we'll work on the other turns. So you need to make sure that you do finish the Gadamarai and then you go in. Okay, so we'll do one more and then we'll do another turn. So, okay, so that's the first turn. So the first turn would be here. So then it's this other turn, but because of space, we will do one turn, right. So back here, and now I want to do this turn. So let's move myself a little bit closer to here. In fact, let's turn around. That's it. Right, so there we go. Okay. That's better. Beforehand, it was like I'm going to come gracefully down and then boom. And I was emphasizing the block, right? So the twist on the block, and I was and it was like count to 1, 2, and then boom. Yeah, it needs to be more fluid, almost like as soon as you come down, it's then bang. Just making sure the speed doesn't affect the accuracy. Okay, so that's, we've just done here, 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 and here, right? But obviously going the other way. So we are, if this was the thing, it would be here, like this, right? So the next turn is that way, and then it's the big 3. So I suppose I can do it from here, right? Hang on, from here. Yeah. So it's just getting that sort of, it's almost seeing the two movements as one. They flow into each other. And if I could put more emphasis on the break being after the punch, not after the block. So, for example, we've just come down, and from this point we're offline, we go online, which like that, right? And then I can have a little bit of a breather, and then in. It's the same with the first one, so it's like boom, boom, now boom, boom, you know? So it's just trying to get the timing of the breathing and the timing of the punch in the right order, rather than let's have a little wait and have a little breather. Let's have a little wait and have a breather. Wait and have another breather. A bit like when you do it in the dojo and you're doing it to time, doing it to the count, and it's a slow count, there's more opportunity for you to breathe. But when you're actually doing it in the tournament sort of setting, when you're doing it in fully focused, you know, fast, then you have to really be strategic as to the moments in which you breathe. Some people can breathe and move, and I suppose that's what I need to learn to do. I also use those moments of thinking. So it's like, what do I need to do? Okay, now it's here. And I think it's a confidence thing. I just need to be confident that I actually know the sequence, and it becomes muscle memory. So anyway, all right, enough of that little side rant. So we've done this one, we've done this one, and we've also done, which brings us to here. We've also done this one, and now we've got the 3, 1, 2, 3 punches. Now we do the first big turn. So I will pretend that we've just done the 3 punches, and we're here. The first big turn, again, needs to be fluid. So from here, in. So there's no sort of, and I had a real big problem with the big turn, like a real big problem. I kept on my, it's this way. I kept becoming really offline. That's good. Not offline, sorry, tight ropey, because I wasn't corkscrewing enough. but now I have a problem with once it comes round, I'm like, oh, thank you. Now I need to wait. Take a breather. That was difficult. Right, now bang. But actually, it should be. It's this way, mate. This way. There we go. So actually, it needs to be really fluid in. Another problem I've got with a big turn is where my head position is. So I am looking at the ground and I'm looking at the ground and then I go in, and that's not good. Your head needs to be looking sort of at the opponent. Now obviously when you're doing the big turn, you're actually going down and then in and then around. So there is a bit of a, you are going down and then up. So you are going down and popping up a little bit. But my instinct is to, as soon as I lift the back leg up and come in like there, is to look at the ground. I need to be looking up. I need to be looking up. And I need to be, when I rotate, I need to be looking sort of like head level, right? And then when I come in with a punch, it needs to be at the same level. Cannot be looking at the ground. And this is the reason why I'm looking at the ground. So I had such a big issue with where my feet position was, right, with the big turn. Big turn was here, and I was like always looking at where that foot was, right, which just screwed me up. Yeah, so maybe one day we'll do a big turn and it's just dealing with a look. But anyway, right, we'll do a couple more because it's today I just want to get the flow. So that was rubbish. There's no step through. So get down my, there we go. All right, that obviously needs a lot of work. But what we've done is we've got to this point, and now again, we need to do this, but because of the size of the kitchen here, I can't go from left to right. So we're going to have to go this way. So imagine I have come here, right? After the big turn, it's like that. And now I want to do this. So from here, it's back. And essentially it's the same as the first bit. But we'll do that. So it's from here. No, it's not. It's from here. Right, which way this ends up? It ends up coming across. You see? There. Because if it ends up behind it, just directly behind it, and I turn, if I come this way around, I'm tight roping, which means, from a punch, it means it needs to come across. Because when it comes across, you then have more of a wider stance. You see my back leg and my front leg are not on the same train tracks. So we'll do that a couple more times from here. So from here. Okay. So, was that right? From here. Yeah, it's this leg. Right. So, That is this movement where we've done the big turn, we're here, we come here, we do this. The next one is this one, where we do the big three. So from here, we are doing that. So from here, because then we could lead in with the big three. What's the best way of doing this? Probably from here. Right. So from here. And it's like coming in, coming out. So it's like, let's throw a punch. Expand, contract. Expand, oh, sorry, that's wrong. Contract, expand. But obviously have your, not train tracking. Okay, so that's the big three. Punch, 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 punch. So we end up here. Now we've got another big turn. So from here. From here. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. We'll do it from here. And there's no room. So I'll have to do it from here. Okay. Then you got the big three. Then you've done the big three. You've done the big turn. You are now facing in this round, in this thing, I think, because you've just done. No, you're not. Yes, you are. You're facing here. So now it's this one. So it is here, here. Like I said before, it is the going past the back leg, then in. So I'll do that 2 more times. So from here, past the back leg. And there we go. Okay, so we're now in this position, and then we wait. We count to 3. We look, and then we come, and we bow. Yeah. So I definitely need to work on my snappiness. It's not a case of just you block, you wait, you punch, you wait, you block, you wait, you punch, you wait. It is you block, you punch, you wait. You block, you punch, you wait. You block, you punch, you wait. And then it's the big 3. You block, you punch, you punch, you punch, you punch. You block, big turn. You punch, you wait. Or really it should be, actually it should be, what are we, from here? You punch, you punch, you punch, now you wait. Okay, now you wait. Then you look, you turn, and then you punch. Now you wait, you look, you block, you punch, now you wait. You block, you punch, you punch. Right, have a little pause, then turn. Now you wait. You look, you pause, you punch. Then you wait. You look to the judges, all good. You know, it's, difference in the flow. Breaks it up a little bit, and as long as you're finishing the blocks correctly and the punches correctly, it should be good. But yeah, definitely need a lot of more work on that. Right, let's do a bit of Kumite. I need to work on my movement forward and back like I was doing the other day. So get into your short fighting stance, and yes, come up on your sort of your balls of your feet and just start pouncing a little bit. I need to get over the fact that I was really static in my tournament. I need to get over that fact, and then we're going to move forward a little bit and then move back a bit. Probably not that fast, but and keep bouncing whilst they're doing it. Just keep like and you're looking for contracting and expanding. You don't want to be like when you're bouncing, coming forward and having more of a gap this way. You need to, the distance you move on your front leg or your back leg, depending on which one you want to move first, needs to be the same as the other foot, right? So you are moving the same distance each time. Douche, 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 right? So, like that. I'm not very good at this, as you can tell. Hence why I was really static and moving like a kata. In Kumite, I need to be more relaxed, more fluid, and more chill, which I'm struggling with today. Bounce, 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 bounce. I think an exercise I could do which might improve me is trying to do it really small, little small baby sort of steps. So almost like this, you know. And then going backwards. And going forwards. And going backwards. And then going forwards. And go backwards. And then sort of bigger bigger steps. God, that's killer. Yeah, once I have that down, which I still need to work on, then we can start incorporating punches. So right from here, jab, blocking. Again, as you can tell, I'm struggling to breathe. I need to find moments of breath. It's not like I'm going underwater and just holding my breath. Come on, I need to breathe in it. Breathe in it. Breathe in it. Breathe in it. Jab. And then blocks. Jab. Block. Ooh, yeah. I think that'll do for today. I'm knackered out. Keep practicing.